While GTA Online may be like the little cousin who can't go to a family get-together without first shelving some Adderall, I think a lot of people forget that GTA 5 is like a fine wine next to the fireplace with a platonic foot rub from the boys. So meet Franklin, one of GTA 5's 3 main protagonists. He really breaks the hood stereotype because him and his boy Lamar are repossessing some cars rather than stealing them. On my way to the car, I spot a cat, so naturally I pss and attempt to stroke it, but the fluffy boy sprints out onto the highway. Obviously I go running after it because I don't want the cat to be flattened like the neighbour's kid on my driveway. Apparently you're supposed to look behind you when reversing, so I did that, and wow, my hit and run efficiency has increased 88.3%. Coincidentally, that's the same amount of you who watch my videos but aren't subscribed. Here you get the option of what car you want, and I choose the Audi R8 because I'm a modern man who isn't afraid to embrace his feminine side and do quote-unquote girly things like use conditioner after shampooing, take care of my skin with essential oils, not orgasm during sex, and get daytime pedicures at the spa. Lamar decides he wants to turn this into a race, and if there's one thing Fast and Furious has taught me, apart from family always wins, is that in street racing, the smaller your cock, the faster your car goes, so I should win here, no questions asked. Franklin also has the ability to slow down time while driving, so you can take risky corners a lot easier. Or, you know, T-bone cyclists who are taking up the entire lane like it was an Olympic sport. So I return the car with a femur hanging out the grille in the same condition as everything I list on eBay as used but like new. Me and Lamar work for a dude named Simeon, who you know is an honest, trustworthy guy because he reps an unbuttoned shirt with a gold chain and exposed thick black chest hair. He also clearly left his hairline in Eastern Europe, so you know he's dedicated to achieving the American dream. Alright, work done, so it's time to go home, chill out, put my whites in the laundry, and maybe invite Lamar in for a sneaky foot rub.
Maybe you got rid of that old yee-yee ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with. Okay, never mind. I offered to help this flat-footed fuck relieve some muscle tension, and he just insulted my trim instead. Maybe Lamar thinks it's odd I still live with my aunt, but little does he know I get home-cooked meals every night and get to listen to her having sex because the walls are paper thin. So moving out would mean losing out. I change into some more weather-appropriate wear, then go for a walk around the Grove. You see, Franklin is actually from the same area as CJ in San Andreas, Grove Street. Some fan theories even suggest that CJ and Franklin are related, but I believe that's mostly white people seeing two African Americans in the same video game franchise and instantly assuming they're a family. I take a selfie with my fellow Grove Street boy, then jump in the whip and head down to the barber's. Because even though at the time I may have hit it pretty well, Lamar calling my hair yee actually really hurt my feelings. So I proceed to get the exact same trim, only this time I get a fat F on the back. You might think it stands for Franklin, but it actually stands for Frank. Not even 50 feet away from the barber's, I see a dude repping ball as colours, so I've got to assert Grove Street dominance and let him know what's up. Looking back on it now, he may have just been wearing a Lakers jersey and not repping a murderous gang tied in a turf war, which is a bit awkward, but hey. Mistakes happen. His backup also gets one banged while the other gets laid out and goes stiffer than me every time an ethot reads out my tier 3 resub. Anyway, that's enough leisure. It's time to get back to work. Old matey Simeon gives me an awkward hug I do not reciprocate, so now if he ever gets famous, I can make a twit longer about how he molested me. It turns out I'm actually Employee of the Month. I'm pretty sure me and Lamar are his only employees. So not exactly what I'd call a dynamic and competitive work environment, but it'll probably look more impressive on my CV than I win 1 in every 30 bets I put on the footy. Look, now you guys know I'm a gambling man, you may look down on me, but you've got to let me have this one vice. I don't drink, I don't have sex, I only take heroin twice a week, and I don't overindulge in food. Gambling is all I have. So this job actually spices things up a bit. By that I mean we're repossessing a bike, not a car, as the dude hasn't made a single payment back to Simeon for it. We arrive at the place and there's a faint noise of aggressive Mexican rap music blasting in someone's apartment, so something tells me this isn't going to go down too smoothly. A dude who is assumedly Christian or off his face on meth tries to talk to me and Lamar, but Lamar tells me to play it cool, so I fold the geezer like a deck chair with one punch. I then attempt to ask these fine gentlemen if they know where the bike is, but they proceed to just keep driving like I'm not there,
and kill me. They were going about 10 miles per hour as well, so I wouldn't have even died on impact. It would have been a slow bleed out on the floor as I lie there with broken ribs and a punctured lung. Not the ideal way to go out. Round 2, and this time we find the bike, but things quickly go tits up when Lamar shows he has the negotiation skills of a tin of spaghetti oops when he opens fire on everyone. He also clearly has the spatial awareness skills of a deaf child, as he tells me to shoot the gas leak from a car, blowing it up and giving us the tactical advantage in the shootout. A 200 IQ play, that is until he runs within 5 feet of the car as it blows up, killing him and failing the mission. On the bright side, at least Employee of the Month for next month is already in the bag. Okay, round 3, and this time we find the dude with the bike, but he makes an escape through to the city. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I call a teachable moment. I use this time that Lamar is in the car with me to show him how to resolve a situation using communication and compromise. Just kidding, I rail a line of G Fuel, then rail him off the bike and rail his mother. Lamar then decides he wants to keep the bike for himself, and I really think he's missing the key element of what our job description is. And he wonders why I was Employee of the Month. Just as I get back home for a kip after a long day, this reputable woman, who looks like someone you wait a good grace period of 5 years to pregnancy to introduce to your parents, asks for my help. Can't you see it's dark outside and I've still got my shades on? Clearly I've just shelved an entire sheet of acid and I'm waiting to start peeling myself like a Satsuma. It turns out her boyfriend's a bit of a deadbeat, so I have to do his job for him. I tow a car, take it back to the impound, and she offers me a blowy, so I guess you could say things escalated pretty quickly. Franklin, being the gentleman he is, declines the blowy, because, let's be honest, she probably has HIV. Alright, it's a new day, and there's no better way to start it than a 6 AM jog around the block. At least, that's what wannabe Instagram influencers tell you anyway. I wouldn't have a clue. I actually enjoy my life. I get back home, and what a result! My aunt's heading out, which means I get to watch porn on the Bluetooth speaker. That was the plan anyway, until Lamar tells me we've got an early morning kidnapping. I was about to say no, but then I realised he's actually bringing along his dog Chop. So I was swayed into a yes. We're kidnapping a member of the baller gang to send a message or something. I don't really know what the plan is here, but I'll trust Lamar knows what he's doing.
In the van, we gotta go!
Okay, turns out he doesn't know what he's doing, as the baller just escapes on his bike. Clearly there was no plan B here, so we just have to chase him down through the city. I feel like if said person you're trying to kidnap escapes, the last thing you should do is chase them while in a white van with black tinted windows through one of the most populated cities on Earth. But then again, what would I know? All my kidnappings have gone down a lot smoother than this. My favourite thing about this mission is you get to play as the dog to track down the geezer. It's really nice to see things from my ex's point of view actually. Chop takes him down and things are back on track. We now have one baller to add to my basement of 32 Romanian children. Never mind, it turns out the guy actually knows Franklin and Amar as they were childhood friends, so we just kind of let him go and agree to forget about these embarrassing 10 minutes. Like me, with every girl I sleep with. Franklin takes a walk around this recreation centre and grabs a $1 Coke to really think. Is this what he wants from life? Ah look, some older blood from the Grove. Maybe they can give some solid life advice to a struggling young man. Never mind, they're absolutely plastered and try to start a fight with me. It's at this point Franklin could really use a father in his life to turn to. But his father is out of the picture because, well, you know, I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, I'm sure you get what I'm thinking. Anyway, time to put my mental struggles to the back of my mind and start earning that bread. Haha, yeah, depression. Some rich daddy's boy who lives up near the hills hasn't made a single repayment on his SUV, so I've got to get it back from my boy Simeon, who never lies to me. Obviously, I can't just walk in the front door and say, hey, I'm here to take back your car, as that would probably go about as well as being spotted with a semi at an under-16s netball game. I assume. I knock out the gardener, which may seem unnecessary, but I'm actually doing him a favour. You see, he was using a leaf blower without any ear defenders on. Leaf blowers typically produce about 95 to 115 decibels of noise, and prolonged exposure to anything over 70 decibels can cause long-term hearing issues. I just saved you from a small hearing loss at the age of 80, sir. I have to go round back because the garage is locked, and although this is a time-sensitive mission, I can't resist getting in a few laps in the pool. It's a bit of a risky decision though, as swimming in a 45-degree angle like this can lead to minor disc displacement. I guess you could say Franklin likes to live life on the edge. Anyway, back to the home invasion. I slip in through an open window and head straight for the daughter's bedroom, which instantly gives me a mission failed screen. My bad. When we snuck in through the window, it just felt too much like a date to me and I got carried away. This time I avoid any bedrooms, but I do see the homeowner's wife getting some tennis lessons from her coach. Back up a little there, big man. I'm sure you can demonstrate how to serve without putting your cock between her thighs. That sort of thing is reserved for golfing lessons, trust me. Right, SUV secured, and it's time for the easy bit of the job now, where I ride this baby back to Simeon. That is until Michael DeSanta pops up from the back seat and pushes the cold steel of his barrel against my head. Barrel meaning gun, that's not slang for cock or anything. Apparently his son has only just bought this car, and Simeon is running a credit fraud. Who'd have guessed he wasn't a trustworthy guy? Michael tells me to drive through the front of the car dealership as he isn't best pleased with Simeon. I follow his orders because he also said he'd give me some money, and honestly, I'm just trying to earn that paper, I don't really care who pays me. The game then transitions me to Michael's POV, and we get to mess up Simeon pretty bad. You see, Michael is not a guy you want to fuck with. But we'll learn about that in the next episode. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below, and we can get started with Michael DeSanta and learn a little bit more about him. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and a big thank you, as always, to those of you who have clicked the join button and become a member of the channel. It really does mean a lot. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. I just want to give a huge shout out to my motherload Voiy Boys and above, Gerardo Cruz, Björn van den Hatter, Charlie Waldock, Voiy is Gay, TheGamerTeg, and Zyfin Productions. Thank you guys for your support.
Fine.